Abdul Fattah. الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله أما بعد. Shaykh al-Islam Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab brings the third naqid of the nawaqid of Islam according to him, rahmatullah alayhi, and he says, من لم يكفر المشركين أو شك في كفرهم أو صحح مذهبهم كفر. The third munaqid of Islam, the third thing that nullifies a person's Islam, there are quite a few people who fall into this today. And we see them writing and talking and having statements to say about al-Islam, and we say, you're kuffar, like the guy who drove into the people there in Germany. The guy's a kafir billahi. And it's disturbing to see some people who have hatred for the country that he comes from, criticizing his country, criticizing his people. The guy who drove into those people is a kafir billah. Without any turaddud, without any tahaffuz. The guy who drove into those people is a kafir. So the third one is من لم يكفر المشركين أو شك في كفرهم أو صحح مذهبهم. The third thing that destroys a person in Islam is the person who does not say that polytheists, pagans, are kuffar. He has doubt as to their situation. They make shirk with Allah. They're against Islam in any shape, form, or fashion. They have doubt about their kufr and about the kufr of Mushrikeen. They themselves are disbelievers. Or the one who has doubt in the kufr of the people who do things, say things, support things, take positions concerning those things which are clearly kufr. He's supported, he's assisted. Kufr. It's not permissible to be in doubt about his kufr. Those people who make tasheeh, they say that the madhab of the disbelievers is true or something like that. So this issue has three parts to it. Those people who don't make takfir of the mushrikeen, they don't make takfir for whatever reason. Number two, they're in doubt and they have shak concerning their kufr. Or they say part of their madhab, part of what they're upon, their religion and what they're upon is sahih, as it relates to the fundamentals of their belief. Anyone who falls into these three categories is a non-Muslim, and al-Islam is negated from that person. Allah Azza wa Jalla has mentioned in the Quran, إن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين في نار جهنم خالدين فيها أولئك هم شر البرية. Those people who disbelieve from the people of the book, the Jews and the Christians, as well as the Mushrikeen, they are in the nar of Jahannam. They will be in there forever. They are the worst of Allah's creation. Sharul Bariya, because they make shirk with Allah. That's an ayat from the book of Allah that supports this point. إن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين في نار جهنم خالدين فيها. Those who make shirk with Allah from Ahlul Kitab, they will be in the hellfire forever. Also, Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned in the Quran, لَقَدْ كَفَرَ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ الْمَسِيحُ ابْنُ مَرْيَمَ. The ayat of the Quran for the people of Islam, verily those who say Allah is one of three, they're disbelievers. So Allah established in this ayat, anyone who says the Messiah is one of three is a kafir. So you and I can't come having any doubt about their situation and their issue. The third ayat of the Quran, لَقَدْ كَفَرَ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ ثَالِثٌ ثَلَاثَةٌ. Those who say Allah is one of three, they are also disbelievers. So I want to take it back to the original statement of the Imam and Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab. Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab. Anyone who does not make Kufr, and he doesn't pronounce Kufr on the Mushrikeen, or he has doubt about their disbelief, or he supports and he says that what they're saying is correct. No Muslim in his right mind should say that the Jews or the Christians or the Sikhs or the Hindus or the agnostics or the atheists are Allah's servants, because Allah clearly established in the three ayat that I mentioned. First ayat, those from Ahlul Kitab, Yehud and Nasara, they will be in the hellfire forever. And they are the worst of the creation. Verily, those who say that Allah is Al-Masih ibn Allah, ibn Maryam, He's Allah, Kufr. The third one, verily those who say that Allah is three of one of three, Son, Father, Holy Ghost. Allah said that they are kuffar. First thing that we want to mention, Ikhwani, is that there are some people who claim a connection to Al-Islam, and they have no connection. Whether they claim it or not is irrelevant. Because of what they believe and what they say, they're outside of the fold of Al-Islam. And then there are those people who are clear kuffar, non-Muslims. The Muslim lady who's upstairs, she doesn't know anything about anything. She is not a reader. She's not a student. But she knows those are Christians and those are Jews. She knows that. Those are the clear kuffar in our religion. Those people who, when we say, lakum deenakum waliya deen, to you is your way and us our way. No room for trying to understand, trying to be fair, trying to be just. They are non-Muslims. They are on al-kufr, and they are on what is being astray. A few days ago, I think a week or two, We gave, what's the position against the Nusayriya, Alawiya, the people of Syria, who this last ruler, Bashar, and his father, those people are kuffar. And I pray that they are in the hell of Jahannam and they'll be punished by Allah for their kufr. In addition to that, I pray to Allah Azza wa Jal, without any hesitation or be careful that Allah Azza wa Jal give them what they deserve for all of what they did. Those people are kuffar. So people who their kufr is clear, like the Druze, like the Nusayriya, like the Alawiya, like the Christians, Yahud, Sikhs, the Sikhs and the Hindus, agnostics, all of those people, it's not permissible to have any doubt about what they're upon. And if you were to look at the internet today, you will find many Muslims, most of which are women, emotional, most of whom are women. They look at this situation and they say, oh, they're nice people. Oh, they've been oppressed. Oh, this happened, that happened. If they were oppressed, that's an added situation. But their aqidah and what they believe in is not permissible, it's not okay, it's not acceptable for anybody here to have any doubt about the kufr of the nation of Al-Islam. You have an issue about that. I don't care if you black. I don't care. Black lives matter to you. I don't care. Elijah was a mushrik and a kafir. This third issue applies to you, applies to our people. If you are on that stuff, you're a kafir. And it's not permissible for me to have any doubt about your kufr. When you say Nation of Islam, Allah had a mother, his mother's name was Baby G. There was a white man, he made the white people Yaqub. He's a mad scientist. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a Muslim sent to the Arabs, but Elijah is a messenger sent to the black man. If you believe that, this number 3 is talking about you. You grew up and you were in the nation. And then you became a real Muslim. But you having issues and problems with, how do you understand Elijah? Elijah was a kafir. Black Lives Matter. I'm African American. I ain't no Arab. I ain't no Pakistani. I'm nothing other than what Allah made me. But nowhere in the world is it permissible or possible for me to play around with this issue. Elijah, Muhammad, Clara, Muhammad, all of them, kuffarun billah, kuffar. Number 3 is applicable to this. Whoever does not say that the Mushrikeen are polytheists, or he has doubt about what they're on, or he says that their way is authentic. It's simple and it's easy. For the Muslim. As for the person who wants to have his own stuff, then it's a different issue altogether. Concerning this, I want to make 2 points. I want to make it very, very, very clear that this third point that Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab is bringing is talking about those people who their kufr is clear, as already mentioned. Elijah, Jews, Christians, the Qadianis, the Bahia. All of those people are clear kuffar because of what they believe, what they say. It's not permissible for us to not make kufr on them, or to doubt their kufr, or even worse, to say that what they're doing is sahih. So what he's saying in this point, third point, is for the people who have clear kufr. Clear. Number two, there are those people who are not clear kuffar. And we as Muslims, we have to be careful. We have to be careful of praising their ways and praising their aqidah. We have to be clear. We have to be careful. Allah mentioned in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, la tattakhidhu aduwwi wa aduwwakum awliya, tulqu ilayhim bil mawaddati, wa qad kafaru bima ja'akum min al-haq, yukhrijuna ar-rasula wa iyyakum. O you who believe, do not take my enemies and your enemies as helpers and protectors, and you throw towards them and you reach out towards them with love and affection, and they have disbelieved in what has come to you from the truth, and they expel the messenger from amongst you. There's no room whatsoever to allow non-Muslims to believe that we are okay with them. Whether it's because of our color, our mutual dhulm, white man has oppressed us. That's dhulm. But it has nothing to do with the price of peanuts. Elijah, kafir, and all of that stuff. Not permissible in the deen of Allah Azza wa Jalla. When Muslims start talking about Black Lives Matter, we say you gotta be careful with that. The people who started Black Lives Matter are lesbians and socialists, and they ripped and robbed the people who gave them money. It wasn't real, it was a joke. But Black Lives Matter as a mantra, staying in this world, the way the police deal with us, the way they deal with white people, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. They will shoot us, they will kill us. Black Lives Matter like every other lives matter. But as a group, as a minhaj, as a group of people who have the understandings, we say no, you're not getting us with that. Black lives matter, but black lives don't matter to many black people who are criminals, from the Crips and the Bloods. Black lives don't matter with them people. I am not going to be with you people in that situation, open-ended. Get out of here. But I want the world to understand African American lives matter. They be shooting us and killing us. So from that angle, it does matter, but not from the mantra of what you're talking about. We are against this group, Black Lives Matter. We are against lesbianism, socialism. We're against all of that stuff. This is why I say it's just always better leave Black Lives Matter altogether. Let's not even use that. I don't even want to use that, so that people from Islam don't misunderstand where I stand, what I'm saying. These people are non-Muslims. So as a Muslim, I can't support their way as being the way moving forward. I can't support their way as being the way that was divinely revealed by Allah. I can't support their way as being the way of divine protection. I want to say that again. Black lives, they do matter. And I want the world to be aware of the sensitivity of how they deal with us. All right, put Black Lives Matter aside. Put that aside. Palestinian lives matter. Arab lives matter. Muslim lives matter. I'm trying to get you brothers to understand where I'm coming from. Palestinian lives matter. Why are they allowed to kill them like that? Because they're not white. Palestinian lives matter and Black Lives Matter. When I say Black Lives Matter, I mean it like that. That people who are Muslims and people who are non-white Christian, Jewish people, how are you allowed to kill them like that? But because the Black Lives Matter movement became an entity unto itself, I'm going to say, I don't want to use that, Black Lives Matter, with them. Those people are kuffar. Kuffar. As a result of that, we don't say that their way is correct. We don't doubt their kufr and their shirk. None of that. So number one, those people who their kufr is clear, Jews, Christians, Sikhs, Hindus, any person who considers himself to a Muslim and then he comes and he says, nah, their way is okay. Nah, their way is justice. Oh, I have doubt in their way. You go outside of the fold of Islam because of those ayat that we mentioned. The statement of Allah Azza wa Jal, إن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين في نار جهنم خالدين فيها أولئك هم شر البرية. Those kuffar from Ahl al-Kitab, they are the worst of Allah's creation. لقد كفر الذين قالوا إن الله ثالث ثلاثة. They are disbelievers, those who say Allah is one of three. Don't come and tell me, well, there were a group of Christians back then who are muwahidun. Don't give me that. Those muwahidun from the Christians, leave them. We put them with the rest of the Christians. They didn't believe in the Quran. They didn't believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they didn't believe in the Tawheed of Allah. So that's the first thing. Those who their kufr is clear. Clear. Anyone who has doubt, anyone who doesn't make takfir of them, you are not Muslim. Second issue is those people from amongst them who there's ikhtilaf about their kufr. There's ikhtilaf about their kufr. From those who there's ikhtilaf about them kufr between the scholars of the Sunnah and Ahlul Hadith from the ulama are a few people. Those who our scholars had ikhtilaf on the kuffar are the people who don't pray. I look at this audience and mashallah, there's a lot of people in this audience. Our mothers, fathers, aunties, uncles, wives, children who don't pray. There's some ulama who say they're kuffar. Kuffar. Your marriage with them doesn't count. If you die, they shouldn't be buried with the Muslims. If you die, they shouldn't receive any inheritance. That's our reality. And as I mentioned many times before, one of the biggest challenges that I have with this position being Salafi is the challenge that the Tabi'i said. I met 30 of the companions of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I met 30 of them. 30. All of them felt that abandoning salah is kufr. Abandoning salah is kufr. Salafiyah, I want to practice the way of the Salaf. I'm on the way of the Salaf. Well, this Tabi said, those 30 companions said, if you left salah, you're kafir. So I'm following the way of the Salaf. Why don't I just say everybody who doesn't pray is a kafir? It's an ongoing issue, a struggle for me. It's a struggle for me because the vast majority of Muslims will be kuffar. Your families, I'm not talking about some other family or the other Muslims. Your families, not mine, they're already kuffar. If abandoning salat was kufr, mukharraj, and al-millah, then our families are kuffar. Al-ahdu alladhi baynana wa baynahum as-salat. Man tarakaha faqad kafar. That's a hadith. Difference between us and them, salat. Anyone who abandons it is a kafir. The vast majority of our relatives, based upon this athar, are kuffar because they don't pray. But I say to myself, that's not from the hikmah of the Sharia of Islam. Laysa min al-hikmah bi-shay. Allah is not the author of confusion. If everybody who doesn't pray is a kafir, then the vast majority of Muslims are kuffar. I don't want to say something in my mind, I'm just picking it. No, I'm saying you and your relatives, the vast majority of people who are Muslims don't pray. So this authentic hadith, and I want to be in the way of the Salaf. Hadith said, disbelief. So we have to look at our own situation. I say, no. They are falling into an action of kufr. To abandon the salat is a fi'l from the af'al al-kufr. مثل الحلف بغير الله الخوف من غير الله التوكل على غير الله. People are afraid of other than Allah. People make dua to other than Allah. That's kufr, but they don't go outside of the religion. I'm going to say the majority of the Muslims are kuffar. I'm not going to say that. So the second issue, the third naqid of Islam is for a person not to make takfir of a kafir or to have doubt in his kufr. Second thing, it is not talking about the one who doesn't pray. So the scholars of Islam have ikhtilaf. The one who doesn't pray 5 times a day is a kafir. So for those scholars who say you don't pray 5 times a day, you're a kafir. And I know he doesn't pray 5 times a day. So I say, you're a kafir. And if someone hears that I say, he's not a kafir, he's a weak in his Islam, that's a kufr of actions. He can't come to me and say to me, Muhammad ibn Wahhab said, the one who doesn't say someone's a kafir, then you're a kafir. There's ikhtilaf between the scholars about the kufr of a number of people, like the one who doesn't pray and like the Khawarij. The Khawarij. There are people who are on the internet, you see them all the time, young brothers, young sisters. They make takfir of other people when those people don't agree with them. And they're saying, you're a kafir because you don't see it like me. You're a kafir because you don't see it like me. So the situation that happened in Syria, the situation with Gaza, some of our Muslim brothers were talking in a way in which it came across, and I don't believe this is what they thought or felt. it came across you're supporting the Zionists. So these young brothers and sisters say you're a Kafir. You don't agree with making, we don't drink Starbucks. You don't see that you should boycott Starbucks. Just because he doesn't agree with that, you say it's Kafir, and then you go and you read this of Shaykh al-Islam, Muhammad Abdul Wahhab, you say, you a Kafir, because Ibn Abdul Wahhab say you a Kafir, you have doubt, and you're saying that their way is true. You say no, you're going overboard. Just because people don't agree with you, don't make them kuffar. What's wrong with you? Relax. And that's why my advice to the community is, especially from you young brothers and sisters who are exposed to this internet, the internet is a cesspool of crazy ideas that will send you astray. We are against the Muslim leaders not being able to do anything to help the Palestinians. We wish it wasn't like that. But I'm going to say that they're kuffar. Two issues. Two separate issues. This is not permissible. So someone who doesn't take the position that the one who abandons the salat, he's a kafir, and the Hanbali madhab, and other than that, although there is a narration and a riwayah of Imam Ahmed, and other than him as Ibn al-Qayyim brought, that shows he had another position, that they're not kuffar, like outside of the millah. When we look at certain countries like Saudi Arabia, their madhab is the Hanbali madhab. I saw two things. Sheikh Ibn Baz was asked, what do you feel when we ask you questions, you give us the answer? Do you give it according to the Hanbali madhab? He said, no. I give it to you according to what I deem and perceive as the strongest position with the dalil. But if you as a student, if you wanted to really grow and develop into something, then you should try to get on a madhab, because it will protect you and help you to get the tools and the utensils to see how you should look at the dalil. But I don't give you, Ibn Baz said, a position based upon the madhab. I give you a position based upon the dalil. Based upon the dalil. So with this issue, it's not really that complicated. I think the most intricate part of what we're dealing with right here is this issue that Salafis fell into. And it's an innovation. I don't care who fell into it. That's your problem. That's your problem. Some of these sheikhs of the hardcore Salafis and these Salafi brothers came up with this thing about, if you don't say that a mubtadi is a mubtadi, then you are mubtadi. Everything about that issue is like this issue right here. You don't agree with me, Abu Sama. Ali al-Halabi is an innovator. Al-Maghrawi is an innovator. Al-Ar'ur is an innovator. Muhammad ibn Hadi is an innovator. You don't agree with me that? You're an innovator. I say no. You and your sheikh. You and your sheikh has introduced an innovative principle. This is innovation. You can't make ilzam and force people to say something that they don't really mean. What are you talking about? Takfir and innovation, they are cousins. They're relatives. They're relatives, meaning what? That the things that people fall into with the takfir, whoever doesn't say that a kafir is a kafir, then he's a kafir. You don't see the Khawarij, Daesh as kuffar. Sheikh Ibn Baz, he felt that the Khawarij were kuffar. That was his opinion. That was an opinion of Ibn Uthaymeen. That was an opinion of Al-Albani. And Ibn Baz has a dalil. يمرقون من الدين كما يمرق السهم من الرمية. He said there will come a group of people who will go in and out of the deen. In and out of the deen. The way the arrow goes in and out of the game. So you would understand from that, kuffar, in and out of the deen. He said that the Khawarij, Daesh, Boko Haram, Ibn Baz, they're kuffar. So someone comes and says, I don't see Abu Muhammad as a Khawlani from Syria. He's not a kafir. If you don't make takfir of the kafir, you're a kafir. I don't see Usama bin Laden, rahmatullahi alayhi, rahmatan wasi'ah. I don't see him as a kafir. If you don't make him a kafir, you're a kafir. Yeah, akhi, come on, brother. Come on, brother. This thing is talking about those people who are reluctant to say, the ones who the ulama of Islam have ittifaq, that they're kuffar and nusayriya. I gotta mention this. And I don't mention this in any way of fitting anything like that. But I think it is a benefit. Our brother Al-Umaysan, who comes here, Al-Umaysan, comes to Masjid Tawheed. There is a thing on the social media, it doesn't age well because it's kalam batil, farigh. He said that the Alawiyya, Nusayriya are not kuffar. And he was saying that people have to listen to Bashar, Ibn Uthaymeen, Ibn Baz, Al-Albani, Al-Luhaydan, and other than them, Ibn Taymiyyah. Ibn Taymiyyah said that the Nusayriya, the Alawiyya, their kufr is worse than the kufr of the Yahud and the Nasara. Worse. But Al-Umaysan said they're not kuffar. So do we now come and say, whoever doesn't make kufr of the kuffar, then he's a kafir? Nope, we don't say that. We say, with all due respect, we disagree with you on that. We disagree with you on that. Those people are kuffar. Wala karama. They're kuffar. Whatever reason caused you to say they're not kuffar, whatever reason, بغض النظر, we're not paying attention to that. Those people are non-Muslims. Someone comes, reads this book and says, Al-Umaysan is a non-Muslim. This is the mushkil that we have with the Salafi people of Qulub. Whoever doesn't say a mubtadi is a mubtadi, then he's a mubtadi. Whoever says he's not a kafir, then he is a kafir. Not everybody who you say is a mubtadi, I see him as a mubtadi. So don't put that ruling of and bid'ah me. It's simple, it's easy. Also, everyone who you say or you read or you heard, he is a kafir or not a kafir. Don't put that on me. That ilzam is batil. Don't go overboard. Don't be extreme. Take it easy. The people of Kufr with ittifaq outside of Islam. The Rafida, the Ithna Ashariya, the Brawiya, the Deobandiya, the Asha'ira, the Mu'tazila, then people got Kufr in what they say. They have Kufr. Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah used to say to their sheikhs when he was debating them, if I said what you're saying, I would be a kafir. Why? Because he had knowledge. And he had knowledge of what they're saying. If you understand what you're saying, you're a non-Muslim. But he didn't make takfir of those people because they were ignorant. One of them is given a position because he wants to be cool with the government. One of them is given a position, is given a statements because of whatever reason. And this is the problem with, or the challenge with a lot of our brothers and sisters. Takfir, bid'ah, same thing. Same thing. Don't make ilzam. I'm going to say the word and I want you to say it. And inshallah, the next time we have a class, I'm going to reach out to this audience. I'm going to say, ilzam, what does it mean? I want you to repeat after me. Ali Baba. I'm going to say it, you say it. Baby Beck. All right, you ready? Ilzam. Good job. Good job, little man. Ilzam. Ya akhi Yunus. I know that you're ajnabi. You're ajamiyun, ya akhi. Everybody. Ilzam. Ilzam is when you force a person based upon what he's saying. You're telling him, you mean this, you mean that. He doesn't mean that. I really believe that if you don't pray, that's kufr. That's kufr. You don't pray, I don't pray, your wife, my wife, your mother, father, wife, your kids, that's kufrun billah, Sheikh Abdul Fattah. That's kufrun billah. العهد الذي بيننا وبينهم الصلاة من تركها فقد كفر. Disbelief. It's kufr. But does it go outside of the religion? The lady is married to a husband. He doesn't pray. He dies. We say to her, you can't inherit from him. He's living and he's not praying. We say automatically, he's not your husband. She's not your wife. Now it's an action of kufr. It is definitely an action of kufr. But some scholars had their position. Ibn Baz, Ibn Uthaymeen had a position. You don't pray, you're a kafir. You'll be in the hellfire forever. Whether you are not praying because of negligence, laziness, they didn't get into that. I don't agree with them on that. Rahmatullah alayhim ajma'in. So concerning today, the third one, whoever doesn't make takfir and say that the mushrikeen are kuffar, or he has doubt about their kufr, or he says that their way is authentic, then this person has disbelief. And how did he disbelieve? Because Allah made it clear they're kuffar. Allah said in the Quran, إن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين في نار جهنم خالدين فيها أولئك هم شر البرية. They are kuffar and they're the worst of the people. Allah established that. So if a person has any reluctancy, he's making takdeeb. He's saying Allah doesn't know what he's talking about. Allah made a mistake. It's what I say. Allah said they're kuffar, and I said they're not kuffar. Second thing, and this is important for the people in our audience, we don't have takfiris in our audience. Abu Muhammad al-Khawlani from the Muqawama there in Syria, we ask Allah to help those brothers. But I know Abu Muhammad al-Khawlani, he was doing some wild stuff when he was trying to topple Bashar. He has stuff, Khawarij. He himself was over and responsible for people who were oppressing Muslims, and they were punishing Muslims. He himself. Don't give me that stuff. I'm just gonna close my eyes and now support you. I'm not supporting you. I have guarded optimism. Just as a takfir is a mushkila here, a tabdir. Tabdir is the cousin of kufr. It's the cousin, it's the relative. Whoever doesn't agree with Abu Khadij and SP is a mubtadi, and if you don't say that he's a mubtadi, you're a mubtadi, come on, man. Come on, brother. Or Sheikh above Abu Khadija. I don't care who he is. I don't care who he is. Some people, they can't get beyond names and personalities. Just because you say that he's a mubtadi, I don't agree. Why is he mubtadi? And you will never be able to bring those people. Why Abdurrahman Hassan is a mubtadi? They will never be able to bring it. Why is he mubtadi? Why? It has more to do with personalities. If he is, Abdurrahman is a mubtadi. Shadid Muhammad is a mubtadi. Whoever, I don't care who it is. If they are really mubtadi, give us information. We're going to say it. We're the first ones to say mubtadi. But he's mubtadi because he didn't put a line over the T. He didn't put a dot over the I. Because he's against the Salafis, meaning he's against you, and suddenly you become the embodiment of a Salafiyah. A sign of people of innovation is that they talk bad about the people of the Sunnah. You talk bad about the people of the Sunnah. What you talking about? What are you talking about? He talks bad about you because you're his enemy, and you're his enemy. So which one of you are talking bad about the people of the Sunnah? Which one of you? Is it him or you? Or both of you? Both of you. Both of you. So we'll expel people from the Sunnah based upon proofs, not based upon desires and stuff like that. Okay, my brothers and my sisters, we're going to stop here, inshallah. That's the third one, and we'll deal with this fourth one later. If you brothers have any questions, inshallah, you can put your questions forward. Guys, have any questions, any mulahadat or comments or observations or whatever? Fadlu. Yeah, from the sign, so the hadith, whoever abandons the prayer has disbelieved. What about the one who he prays sometimes and he doesn't pray sometimes? Will he not be a hypocrite? The ayat of the Quran describe the hypocrites like that. وَإِذَا قَامُوا إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ قَامُوا كُسَالَى يُقَامُ يراؤون الناس ولا يذكرون الله إلا قليلا. If they stand up for prayer, they only remember Allah a little bit. But they stand up so other people can see them. So that is definitely from the signs of the munafiq. So one of us who misses Fajr, he misses Fajr constantly. Constantly. But when he's with the brothers or the sisters who pray, they pray. So they stand up for salat so people can see them. But they're praying because salat is wajib. But by themselves, they're laxed and lackadaisical in their prayer. So one of the signs of the munafiqeen is to be negligent on the prayer and to pray it when people are around. You pray it when they're around. But if you're by yourself, you're not going to pray. You're not going to get up for Fajr. But when you're in the masjid and you're around them, you go to a walima, you go to a cookout, whatever, when it's time to pray, you pray. That's a sign of munafiq. Are we going to say they're munafiqun outside of the religion? No. We say, just like the one who lies, just like the one who promises and he breaks his promise, just like the one who argues and he starts to become belligerent and use foul language, he has an ayat, a characteristic of nifaq, hypocrisy. We're not going to say he's a hypocrite. But my point here, and I don't want this to be lost on anyone here. Umar, I see him as a deviant. For an example, this is not real. Why do you see him as a deviant, Abu? Because Umar has a lot of hair on his head. And the Khawarij, Daesh, and this is real talk, they leave their hair out like that. They even let their hair grow longer. And that's a sign of he's a mujahid. And they take a dalil from the seerah to do that. So their hair is left and it's long. It's a lot of hair. I don't hear Umar calling to jihad. I don't hear Umar trying to be on jihad. But in our community, he has all his hair. He's from the Khawarij. I say, Akhi, Ramis, Baby Beck, Faruzan, Ubay. Hey, shh, listen. I've been watching Umar. Dude got a lot of hair. Not only him, but you too, Ubaid. You got a lot of hair. Ubaid and Umar from the Khawarij. Mubtadiya. And you have to take what I say? Khawarij. Whoever doesn't say the mubtadi is a mubtadi, then he's a mubtadi. Come on, brother. Come on. I think that's what's more important for our community right now, because we're not going to pronounce takfir on other people, but we will pronounce tabdir on other people. Because SB, Rabi al-Madkhali, Ubaid al-Jabiri, Muhammad ibn Hadi al-Madkhali, these people pronounce tabdir on different people, so their followers will say to you, if you don't say he's a mubtadi, then you're a mubtadi. No, brother. No, brother. Whoever doesn't say that he's a kafir, this is talking about the one whose kufr is clear, man. Nusayriya, Alawiya. As for the one being Salafi, but he's not against Ali al-Halabi. I'm not against Ali al-Halabi. I'm not against Abu Hassan al-Ma'rabi. I'm not against them. I'm not against them. Sheikh Fulan is against them. Give me this stuff so I could look at it. Give me a chance to say I'm against, I'm not against. You don't even do that. You just want to do the Gestapo. Al Capone, Don Corleone. Don Corleone? Come on, man. So that's what's important to our community here. Don't make tabdi of people until you are sure, based upon what people are saying. Did he make a mistake? He made a mistake. Sheikh Rabi made a mistake as well. And he made a mistake in takfir. So why does he get that ruling and those excuses and others don't? He made a mistake. He shouldn't have said that. I'm against that, what he said. And that brings me to the last point that I want to make today. The other day, I think it was, the question came up from the floor about Shadid Muhammad, and the thing got cut off and it didn't show what I was saying. What I want to do in this class is I would like to download one of the students, Jazahullah Khaira. He sent me some stuff against Shadid, that the Ghulat, the extremists, SP, they're extreme. I'm against those people. I'm against them and their sheikhs. I'm against them and their sheikhs. So one of the brothers sent me some stuff to show me about SP, because other brothers had said, this brother said this, and the brother sent me, and I appreciate that. I started reading from the bottom up, and I read about 4 things. I was shocked. This is scholastic. This is scholastic. So the point is, I want to get a few of our brothers where we can download that, come over at the round table there, and we read it collectively. Wallahi alladhi la ilaha ghayruhu. If Shadid Muhammad is saying something against the usul of a Salafi and this and that, I'm going to say, I'm going to give a warning against that brother. I'm going to give a warning against him. But I think sometimes when we sit down, we think, because it's a lot, we think this is Dalil, because it's a lot. And all it is it's just blowing into a balloon. He didn't cross his T. He didn't dot the I's and this and that. He didn't. So I don't have a horse in the game other than to say that this is what has really put our dawah back and behind. This way of dealing with our brothers. I'm giving dawah in this masjid. I need Umar, Ramiz, Baby Beck. I need Farzan. I need Ubaid. I need Zaid. I need Yunus. I need Rayyan. I need Nazir. We gotta bring our dawah, man. We gotta bring our freaking dawah, man. And spread it to the people on our masjid and in this city. We should have a class in Jama Masjid, Masjid Taqwa, Masjid Tawheed. We should have a class for English-speaking Salafi people calling to our dawah, man. But he looked at me sideways. I don't like him. He's with this sheikh, he's with that. What is this? Since I've been here, I've been reaching out to the different brothers who are imams of this area. The only one is Abdul Azim. Abdul Azim is the only one who's always willing, ready to come. Always. He has his community over there, and you know he's dealing with Trinidadians and Guyanese, and the culture of that community. It's a big ask to bring that community to the Sunnah. They have their specific tahaddiyat, challenges. He's the only one. The other one, this one. They're busy, this, that, leave a lot of room for me to say. Do they think I'm a deviant? Do they think we're deviants? And that brother Abu Abdus came to the khutbah 2-3 times or something like that. But us galvanizing, coming together to spread our dawah? No, that's not there. Because I'm telling you, these people, brothers are on some whackness, brother. Brothers are on some whackness. And I'm always here, not as a gangster or a tough guy. I'm always here. Hatu burhanakum in kuntum sadiqin. Bring your proof. Let's talk about it. We're trying to spread our dawah and our deen. That's why I don't want any of you brothers in this masjid, any of you, don't give your ear and your mind and your heart to that nonsense, man. You're in Masjid As-Sunnah with what you know. Bring your piece of puzzle to the table. Tell me what you think, how you feel. I'm going to deal with it from this minbar. A Sheikh Hisham, always, it comes to me. He says, I think you should bring a gun and shoot everybody when they... Look how serious this Sheikh is looking at me. Sheikh, I didn't mean that. I always say to the brother, come and tell me. I'm going to deal with this stuff. Deal with this stuff in our community. As for I'm bringing some luggage outside our community and this luggage is destructive, come on, brother. Come on. So inshallah, in the next coming days, I'm going to reach out to you, brothers. We're going to come together and we're going to print this stuff out against Shadeed. And we're going to read that stuff collectively. And if it turns out that Shadeed Muhammad is against the Sunnah, Salafiyah, I'm going to be the first one to give a khutbah. I'm going to say that. I'm going to make it very clear. I have no horse in the race. No horse in the race. Any more questions, Ikhwani? Ali Baba, where you been? You got married? Where you been? Huh? All right then. Akramakum Allah wa ahsanallahu ilaykum wa barakallahu fikum. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.